Time. Hello, judges. Waves in many different ways, visible or invisible, surround us every day, from light waves to frequency. And I believe that we are still underestimating their impact when it comes to coffee. Today, I want to show you the combination of research and innovation, both with a goal in mind to create a coffee experience for you that is based on things that we might not be able to see. But they can and will improve your coffee's flavor and tactile. We will start with the impact of light waves, followed by the impact of vibration during distribution and how vibration can influence your drinking experience. We will start with the impact of light on our coffee and how Jameson sandwich managed the high UV radiation in over 2,000 meters on Iris Estate in the highlands of Panama, where our coffee comes from. I will quickly pour some shots for my signature course, which I will use later. The coffee that I'm using for my signature course and my espresso is called a Symbiosis. And it's a 100 hours anaerobe fermented green tip geisha cherry. The prolonged fermentation time and the controlled environment allows the beans to absorb high fruit notes from the cherries, creating flavors of yellow fruits and pink grape fruit. The coffee that I'm using for my milk course is called Enigma, and it's also a green tip geisha cherry. It's from the same farm, but this time fermented as a carbonic macerated coffee, so with the addition of CO2 to the fermentation tank. This allows the cherries to absorb more fruit and more sweetness and creating a more sweeter body. With both coffees have in common is their drying technique after the initial fermentation. Because by now, we know that a controlled drying environment is essential for the coffee's flavors and quality. So in the drying rooms, the heat, humidity, airflow are closely monitored. But Jameson went one step further. By putting tinted foils over the drying bag, he can block out a higher percentage of ultraviolet light waves that otherwise would uncontrollably change the sublimation rate of the drying coffee. So with this way of control over 60 days, we can not only control we can protect the sugars and acids better, and we will have a more complex coffee. Some roasting information for you judges. When I received this beautiful coffee, I decided to roast it on the Link hot air roaster. The convectional heat application creates a steady rate of rise, eliminating scorching and other surface tension. In this way, I can only control the heat better. I can also gently caramelize the sugars, what we have worked so hard for during fermentation and drying. Both coffees have been roasted 16 days ago, which is a great age to showcase complexity as well as the sweetness of my coffee. So I was talking about the impact of light waves, and I was wondering, maybe you're wondering where I get this knowledge from. Well, the dairy industry has excessively been researched the impact of light on lactose, because they want to improve the stability to have a more sweeter milk. The milk that I'm using today is a Busan local milk, which has been freeze distilled by 50% to increase the sweetness. So judges, some flavor notes for the milk course. You will find honeycomb, peach, and in the combination, a peach cobbler. So, my recipe for this course are 21.5 grams of Enigma coffee in, 35 out in 28 seconds. And I'm going to add 50 grams of milk per cup. Here you go. This temperature is for me the perfect temperature to enjoy the sweetness of my milk and the fruity flavors of my beautiful coffee. This combination builds for me very dessert-like qualities, which remind me on that peach cobbler, which I really like. So here you go. So please enjoy, and I will be right back with you guys. So once you're ready, I'd like you to already give you the flavor notes for the next course, the espresso course. You will get, I ask you to please take 2 sips. In the first sip, you will get passion fruit, and sweet pink grape lemonade. And in the second sip, you will have blood orange and orange blossom. You will find a juicy texture, which is velvety, and a long-lasting aftertaste of this beautiful orange blossom. So maybe you're wondering, I was wondering how I can use waves myself to elevate your drinking experience. And judges, I found out something really, really amazing. First of all, I ask you to please elevate the crema and do not drink your espresso yet. Starting by distributing my coffee, this is not any NCD tool. It is actually one of the first prototypes which is vibrating during the distribution. Please feel it, and you will. This leads to a more even extraction and gives us a more sweeter coffee. Oh, so you switched it off. But this was only the first step. If you have a look on this graph, This will show us how we can elevate this amazing coffee by using 60 hertz of frequency. Espresso consists out of a lot of many different compounds, such as solubles, acids, sugars, and many more. By using the recipe of 20.5 grams of Symbiosis coffee in, 44 out in 25 seconds, I can get a great expression of this coffee. But if I place your coffee on this vibrating plate, it combines the oils and water molecules, spreading the soluble and non-soluble matter of the espresso equally in the cup. And at the same time, due to the hyperoxidation on the surface, it decreases the acidity structure, which will leave us with a more sweeter coffee. And judges, this is more accurate than stirring your coffee. So we don't need to stir your espresso anymore, and you don't need to stir your espresso anymore. So please just enjoy the coffee, and I will be right back with you. So judges, waves in many different forms, visible and invisible, can influence our drinking experience and qualities a lot. And for my last drink, I want to use the power of light and vibration together to create something new. The base are 2 double shots of my Symbiosis espresso, both vibrated to increase sweetness and to decrease acidity. On the left, you saw me using the power of light to create an infusion of 50 grams of raisins with 200 milliliters of water, 50 grams of verjus, the juice of the unripe green grape, and 50 grams of sugars. This needs to cool down. So I prepared 50 grams over here this morning. This will transform our passion fruit note into a wonderful yellow kiwi. And over here, I'm going to add 50 grams of a cold brew tea, which I made from 15 grams of German barley, together with 200 milliliters of water, which has to sit for 2 hours. This will transform this blood orange juice into a grape note. And I'm also put it in this siphon where I put in 6 metal ice cubes. So you will have a drinking temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. And by sealing everything under pressure, you will have a creamy texture. As well as a sparkling acidity. So judges, as I said in the beginning, sometimes small things have a huge impact and are easily overlooked. So here are the flavor notes for the signature course. You will find sweet yellow kiwi, white grape, and green apple, the juice of the green apple. Judges, I ask you to wait until I finish my presentation before you take your first sip. And judges, it was my absolute honor to be your host today and show you what I've learned and find out about waves in the last months and how important our waves are from farm to cup and how they influence our drinking experience. So I hope I could make the invisible, visible, and tasteable for you. So judges, please enjoy And this is my time.